What's up guys, Ken here from Seattle, Washington. Okay, today's project, we're going to teach you how to properly prep and mask your master bedroom for painting. The prep and the masking is the part of the job that's pretty tedious, pretty time consuming, and it requires some practice. Let me teach you how to do this right, okay? So after you're done painting, you'll be able to pull off all that masking. You'll have perfectly straight lines and no touch up, okay? And also, we have a master bedroom here where it's fully finished. The flooring is in, the furniture is in, everything. And if you're one of those homeowners where you're putting off painting that master bedroom because all the furniture is in, and you got some big furniture like your bed and your dresser and all that stuff, so you haven't been doing it, don't let that stop you, okay? Take all the little stuff, get it out. If you have big stuff that's just too hard to move, you can put that to one side of the room, do half of the room, then slide that stuff over to the other side and do the other half. And it's not so bad. And that's what we're doing today. So don't let it stop you. Let's take a look at what we're working with. Okay, like I said, let's just take a quick look around. Boom. We got a huge king size bed and a couple dressers. Okay, but everything else is out. Right, this whole side of the room, everything is out and we're good to go. And I have definitely half of this room, maybe just slightly more than half, where I can cover these floors, mask and paint it. Slide everything over and do the other half, okay? Not such a big deal. Okay guys, as far as covering floors goes, if you're debating whether or not to use drop cloths or just throw some plastic down, as far as I'm concerned, plastic is way better. What you need to know about drop cloth is they're great and they're really fast. You throw them down and you can start working, and that's great. But understand that if you get a good sized drip of paint on that drop cloth, it will go through to the other side and it will get on the flooring on the other side. So drop cloths, as far as I'm concerned, if you need to lay them down in the hallway or parts of the house so you're protecting the floors when you're walking back and forth, they're great for that. They're great for maybe some overspray, but in the area where you're painting, okay, I don't like using drop cloths. I'd much rather use some heavy plastic. And the plastic that I use, if you've been to any Home Depot or Lowe's and you've seen the heavy plastic rolls like this here, 6 mil is the heaviest, but I don't usually use it because when you use 6 mil, they usually sell it in these huge rolls and it's expensive. And if you go to 4 mil, it's plenty strong enough. It's heavy duty. It's good. And you can buy it in the much smaller, cheaper size rolls. There's enough to cover this whole floor easy. So I like 4 mil, and they make 3.5 too. Pretty much the same. So we use that. If you go down to 2 mil, it's not really strong enough. I mean, you can use it for like a one-day job, I guess. It's okay for that, but you gotta be careful. So I stick with the 3.5 and the 4 mil. Okay guys, we're painting by hand here. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna roll this plastic out so it's really about an inch or even a little bit less than an inch away from this baseboard. And then I'm gonna cut it, we'll lay it out and tape it down. I can do a 2-inch tape across the top of this. Now we're protected, okay? So if there's ever any drips from painting, the floor is fully protected. Okay guys, we got a pre-finished hardwood floor here, and regular type masking tape is too sticky for this, okay? If I put it on that, it's probably not gonna come off. When it does come off, it's gonna leave little pieces stuck to the floor because it's just too strong, it's too sticky for this. So you wanna use glue for this type of flooring, okay? Do the corner first so it holds it in place, and then you can kind of stretch it out and get the other side in place. I'm gonna have this job done in 2 days. So there's no real need for me to really just tape this down airtight all the way around. Okay, Okay, and because we have a door right here, I'm just gonna go ahead and tape this whole thing down tight the whole way. That way we can open and shut the door without that plastic getting bunched up underneath the door. Okay, now on this side, we ended up with the plastic. It's a little long, and that's fine. I'm just gonna tape it right to the trim. No big deal. Even better, actually. Okay, flooring is done, bam. 10 minutes. Okay, it's all the way to that base trim, or at least less than a ½ inch away. Nice tape across the door so we can open and shut that door without the plastic getting messed up. Okay. Now I'm gonna be done in 2 days, like I said, so this is gonna be fine. And I'm the only one here, so it's not like there's gonna be a bunch of people walking around on it. Okay, if it was gonna be more than 2 days, I would probably tape all the way around the plastic, 100%. Okay, let's quickly remove these cover plates that are everywhere. Only take a couple of minutes. It's not that much, so obviously you can just grab a flathead screwdriver and use that. I got my drill handy, so I'm just gonna use this. Give it a little tap. Go. Okay, last but not least, the cover for the duct. Remove that. You could just blue tape around it, but it's kind of risky. If you ever go to replace this for another cover plate, and the new cover plate is a little bit smaller, then you're gonna see a line there where you can see the old paint color, okay? Because you blue taped it when you painted. So the better way is just take it off, and you can paint that whole thing, and then you're fine. And also, if you blue tape it and you pull that tape off, you might find a touch-up spot too, so this will eliminate that. It's actually faster, okay? Now it looks like some paint got in here and dried and kind of glued it together. That's another reason why you keep your putty knife in your back pocket. Okay. There we go. Piece of cake. You ever drop like a little screw on the ground and you go to look for it and it's just not there? Like it disappeared into the matrix? All right, guys, just like that, the floors are covered, good heavy plastic. All the hardware is gone, out of the way, we're ready to go, right? All that done within a ½ hour. Gotta love that. Only thing left to do is run blue tape around the doors and trim. Okay guys, let's give it the sticky test. This is important. I told you I'd make sure you get nice straight lines and no touch-up, and this is part of it. Seeing how well your masking tape sticks to the different situations, okay? Put a piece on, wipe it down, pull it off. Now, that's pretty good. It's not that strong, but it's mediocre. It's good enough. And I know that it will come off easily and it will give me nice straight lines. If it came right off, if it didn't stick very good, then I would upgrade to just regular type masking tape, but we're good. Make sure that this tape is actually touching the wall, and I know it's perfectly inside that angle, okay? Come down maybe about 12 inches or so, maybe a little less, okay? Make sure it's barely touching the wall and it's perfectly in that angle each step of the way, okay? Tap it down every couple inches like this. Then put your finger all the way in that angle so you're making good contact. Wipe it down. You gotta tap it down first, so it's kind of stuck on there. If you don't, if you just wipe it down, it could possibly kind of come out of the angle a little bit. And give it one of these. I don't want this tape to be, sticking straight out like that. Kind of gets in the way. I want it to be tucked in a little bit. Fold it over a little bit so it's out of the way. Okay, let's do this top part. Okay, same thing. I can't see it, but I can feel it. I can feel this tape touching the wall. And the other side, just barely. Okay, but I know it's good. Okay, boom. I can feel it touching the wall barely, so I know it's all the way in that angle. Okay? Part that comes down, look at it from this way. Make sure it's all the way in that angle. And it is. Give it one of those so it kind of folds over a little bit out of the way. Boom. Done. Done. Okay, I'm going kind of slow just to show you, but okay, I got the other side already done. Guys, I know some of you guys are pretty good at some of this stuff, and some of the things that I'm explaining might seem like common sense stuff or basic stuff, but when I do these videos, I explain it like I'm explaining it to a young homeowner who's now just starting to tackle their own projects, who hasn't done this ever or has only done just a little bit and is still learning all this stuff. So, you know, I explain it like I'm explaining it to a person who's like, you know, brand new at this, okay? That's kind of the whole point of the video. But even you guys with some experience, hopefully you learn a thing or two from these videos too. Let's keep going. Also, you guys, I know this stuff's kind of expensive. It's like almost 10 bucks a roll, and you can get regular type masking tape for like 3 bucks a roll. And after you buy a bunch of these rolls of tape, I mean, that adds up a little bit. So on a situation like this, because the stick is like mediocre, it's not sticking on there super strong, it's kind of like 50-50, which is okay for this. But I could also use regular type masking tape, and if you want to, that's fine. It's cheaper, it saves money. But be careful with it. That's why we do the sticky test. If it's sticking too good, you don't want it. You want it to be sticking good, but not too good. Okay? Because then a couple days later when you go to take it off, it won't come off. Or it's gonna come off in little pieces, and then it's like major pain. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, we got a plug here. All you need to do, 2-inch tape, not 1.5 inch, 2-inch. I've seen a lot of guys slap a strip of 1.5 inch on these plugs to cover them for the painting. It's not wide enough. You're gonna get paint on the sides if you do that. 2-inch, okay? Stick it on. And it's perfect because you got just enough left over. It'll wrap around the sides like that, and the bottom, and the top, and then you're 100% good to go, even if you're spraying. Okay, like I said, we got a nice 1/2 inch edge here on this cover plate for the duct, which makes it easy. Could take it off, but I'm just gonna bust it up. Okay, I'm gonna do 1/2 and 1/2. Boom. Now I know I said it's better to take it off, but I can't resist. We're just getting a nice flat 1/2 inch ledge right here, which is so easy to just wrap the good tape around. And it's gonna be fine. And as far as these cover plates for these heating ducts, they come in different sizes. So if I ever wanted to replace it, and for some reason, you know, it didn't quite cover, I could see the old paint line there, because the new cover plate maybe is just a smidge smaller than this one. I mean, they come in different sizes, so there's always a solution. Base trim, same thing. We only got about a 1/4 inch lip on top of this baby. Could use 1.5 inch for these, even 1 inch, because it's so skinny this way. But we're gonna go ahead with 2, because the 2 sticks out farther, which means you're protected from any paint drips getting on this little part of the floor here. So you're not just masking base trim, you've got that 2 inches sticking out, which is covering this little part of the floor that's exposed as well. So this is kind of doing 2 jobs in one. It's a little more tedious because you're trying to get it right perfectly in that angle when you only have that little 1/4 inch section to work with. Now you can see how we got this nice lip hanging way out. It's folded down a little bit so it's out of the way of the roller, but it's hanging down a pretty good amount and it's protecting that little section of floor. Too many drips of paint too. So let's knock out this door real quick for you. See, again, it's only a 1/2 inch thick here, and I have 2-inch tape. 1.5 inch would be fine. Even 1.5 inch regular type masking tape would be fine. Saves money. You can barely feel it touching the wall. Boom. Okay. Fold it in a little bit. Basically on a door, I'm gonna do it in thirds. Okay, the bottom third, the middle third, and then the top part like that. Again, 1/3 here, 1/3, and 1/3. That way I can rip off strips of tape. They're kind of easy to work with and manageable. You don't want to rip off, obviously, little short pieces. That's silly. And you don't want to rip off a super long one because then it ends up getting stuck to itself, and you know, it's a pain to work with. So, you know, got a 2.5, 3 foot section. Now this inside angle, okay, a little tricky. I just leave it about maybe 1 inch long, and that way I can get it right in there with my finger so it's tight and firm in there, and then this piece will come over at an angle a little bit like that. And then I got a leftover piece which I can use to finish. And this is just to get it in there to make sure it's all the way in that angle perfectly, okay? Now look at this inside angle, it's perfect. All right guys, we are done blue taping everything. The hardware is off. Floors are fully covered all the way into the angle with heavy plastic. The only thing left is to bust out the masking machine and just slap a little plastic over the window and that door. Because we're painting the walls and the ceiling in one shot, I can pretty much guarantee a few drips of paint are gonna end up on that window and on that door. And this is a nice window, a nice wood finish, lots of little grooves. I don't want to be dealing with having to clean paint off of all that stuff. Just cover it with plastic. Okay, let me show you how to use a masking machine. For those of you who have never used one, these are the best things ever invented. I love it. Love it. Okay. I have a 4-foot roll of plastic. Means when I strip it, when I run a piece of plastic across and I pull it down, it comes down 4 feet. Okay. Now, slide it on. Okay. All the way. That little part's gonna be a little messy. Grab your tape. I already have 1.5 inch wide roll of blue tape. About 1/4 of it left, which is just fine. Okay. Get this lined up. So right here, it's not like off to the side, it's not messy, it's just kind of perfect the way it's coming off the roll there. Tape, you'll see a tiny little pin right there. The tape is supposed to go underneath that, okay? Goes underneath that, okay? Put a little excess and then wrap it around that roll. Okay, also, because I'm using 1.5 inches instead of 1 inch, that means that this blade right here needs to be adjusted to fit. Okay, you see how this edge of this blade right here comes out and it is exactly even with the roll of tape? That's what you want. A few days ago, I had it set to where it was good for a 1 inch roll of tape, which means this was back in this way about an extra 1/4 inch, and it wasn't lined up with the 1.5 inch blue tape. They weren't even. See, right now they're perfectly even right there. This thing pops off and then you can slide it over and pop it back on. So you want to make sure that that's even for whatever type of tape that you're using. And I almost always use 1.5 inches. Some guys use 1 inch, but I like 1.5 inches because 1.5 inches, you're gonna have a decent amount of tape that's sticking to whatever you're putting it to. It's just stronger and it holds better and it stays up there better. I like using 1.5 inches. Okay. So, as you can see these little holes right here? I can pop this off, slide it over to the next hole and pop it back on. And there's a little pin that comes through that hole that kind of holds it in place. So I'll pop this off. That pin is permanently part of this masking machine, okay? So I can pop this off, slide it, line that pin up with one of these holes, pop this back on, and then this will be lined up with my tape. If I'm using 1.5 inches, I can line it up just right. If I'm using 1 inch, I can adjust this for that. And that way, when you go to strip it off, it'll come off nice and smooth and easy and straight. Okay? If it's not lined up, then this tape can get all messed up and wrinkle and fold over on itself, and it's just a major pain when you're trying to use it. So, there you go. Let's go ahead. I got 4-foot plastic, that's perfect for this window. Now I already got a strip of tape, which is gonna make it super easy and fast. I don't have to finesse it, I don't have to be precise. I already got this there, so I can just quickly run it across, easy, okay? Boom. Easy. Boom. Easy. Okay. Boom. Like that. Now before I wipe that last piece down, I'm going to get it and I'm going to hold it up so I know it's right there exactly where I want it to be. And then I'm going to turn this back like that and push and cut it. Perfectly clean cut. Okay. Now, if you don't have a masking machine and you don't feel like buying one, that's fine. You can just grab a strip of plastic, hold one corner up where it's supposed to be, grab a piece of tape, tack it down, come over a couple of feet, grab the edge, put it where it's supposed to be, tack that down, come over another couple of feet, put the edge of the plastic where it's supposed to be, tack it down, kind of make your way around. And then once you get it, then you can, pull off strips of this, tape it down. You can do it that way. It's a little more tedious, but no big deal. But I just love the masking machine. It's so fast and easy and convenient. Love it. Okay, I don't have to pull that down and tape it down right now until I actually start painting. I'm just gonna leave it. Let fresh air flow through the house. Let's do the door. Almost done. Now, because I have 4-foot plastic, I'm not going to go across the top because then it would only come down and cover maybe half the door. I'm going to go sideways. Now watch how smooth and easy it comes off. I told you to make sure that your blade is lined up and adjusted so it matches the edge of your tape perfectly, right? It just comes out so nice and smooth. Okay? Look at that. And what I'm going to do here, let's go ahead, unfold it and tape it down so it's done 100% so you can see. You kind of got to like massage it with your fingers because the plastic comes out from underneath. It doesn't come from the top side, it comes out from underneath. So you kind of got to go like this, kind of work it for a second and get that plastic to come out. Okay? Don't stick it to your tape that's already there because you can't open and shut the door. What we're going to do is tape it to the door. Now look, even though it's taped to the door and this is exposed, this 2-inch tape that's hanging over, it's going to protect this trim area from ever getting any drops of paint on it. And this top part, okay? I'm going to just grab some 3/8 strips every couple feet. Get close to the edge. I'm going to cover the handle and I'm just going to poke a little hole there, okay? Now I'm going to run a piece of tape. So the door is 100%. Okay. Going all the way to the edge of this door, but not onto the trim. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this. Okay. That way. So when I paint, I'm going to put on my black rubber gloves, my painter's gloves. Probably going to get a little paint on my hands, but and I can open and shut this without getting paint on the door handle. Okay, we're good. We're good. Done, 100% done. Look at that. Now I can open and shut the door. Okay guys, and also just so you know, the type of paint job that I'm doing on this job, it's a lime wash paint job. And if you don't know what a lime wash paint job is, it's basically one of those custom looking paint jobs that you see like maybe on a Tuscany style of house where the paint has 2 tones. Okay, you have darker spots and lighter spots in this random pattern all blended together. Really soft, smooth look to it, like clouds, right? Really smooth, soft, random pattern that just blended together. You get those 2 tones and it looks really nice. And that's what we're doing. That's gonna be my next video. If you're interested in that, then check out the channel, it'll be there. Okay guys, we are now 100% done with the masking, but don't go away because right now we are gonna come through and show you the finished product, the finished paint job. We're gonna pull the masking off. All right guys, the painting is done. Let's pull off this masking and see how we did. Nice. Oh, beautiful, perfect. I told you I would get you nice straight lines. What did I say? Look at that. Perfect straight line all the way down. No paint on that door trim at all. Oops. Okay, check out Base trim. Perfect. Inside that angle there, perfect straight line. No paint on that trim. Okay. Plug is good, perfectly clean. No paint on that plug at all. No paint on the door at all. No paint on the door handle at all. Everything is perfectly clean. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the number one rule in painting is don't ever get paint on anything where it's not supposed to be. And if you do, stop immediately, grab a wet rag, and get it off. Nice. Perfect. Let's just look at that one. Okay. There you go. Perfectly straight, crisp, no paint on that trim at all, no touch up at all. Okay. And there we go. Beautiful, man. Not trying to brag, just telling you guys, no touch up. Perfectly straight lines down that angle, no touch up, no paint on the windowsill. All right, guys, that's about it. Thanks for watching. For those of you who are still working on your masking skills, I hope this video helped you out a little bit. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on that bell so you don't miss the future videos. Hit the like to help give the channel a boost. And I'll see you on the next one.